So I'm just out here today and, processing, thinking, seeing what this world's got to offer. I was thinking about being useful. I definitely know what it feels like to be useful. To be the guy who people call things go wrong, right? Things go wrong at work, or questions need to be answered. Things go wrong at home, what we're going to do at the house, things with family, with problems that come up, decisions to be made, stuff that nobody else really wants to deal with. I think that's the best way to say it. And I don't say that like I'm complaining about it, because there's definitely a part of me that enjoys being that guy. It's definitely fulfilling being that guy. I wouldn't have it any other way. It can be definitely inflating, and you need to know when to humble yourself. I like being the guy who can help, who's able to fix stuff, who's able to carry things, hard things. Being the guy that people can count on. There's definitely something good in that. But I've been realizing something as I've been out here thinking about it. Being useful is not always the same as being fulfilled. I think that's where it can get a little bit tricky, because you can be useful all day long. You can take the calls, solve the problems, make sure everything gets done, right? You provide, you're helping out. You can just be Mr. Dependable. And still, at the end of the day, you can kind of feel empty. Not because anything's bad or there's anything wrong with it. Woo, that was a wet toe. Yeah, not because anything's bad. You're not ungrateful. Not because, you don't have love for everybody. It's just because being needed, it doesn't automatically mean that you're being filled back up. I think that's what a lot of people don't actually talk about, especially for men. We get so used to being the ones who handle things. Just keep moving. Just get it done. Figure it out. Just make it work. That one was better. Then, after a while, that becomes your whole identity. You become the fixer, or the worker, or the provider, operations, the husband, the dad, the one who carries it. And that stuff definitely matters. I don't want to act like it doesn't, right? And I'm super proud of all those things, right? I think that I handle them pretty well. But I've also realized over time that I'm more than just what I can do for other people. Because if all I am is useful, then what happens to me if I'm the one who's tired? What happens when I don't have the answer? What happens if I need something too? What happens if I'm the guy who feels off? And honestly, that's where it can get a little heavy. Sometimes being the guy that everybody leans on doesn't know where he's supposed to lean, right? And I've heard it said another way that I actually really liked, which was, some people have people, and some people are those people. And that one hit home, right? Realistically, you're one or the other. You know, you can't be both. Obviously, you're always going to have other people to lean on, and I hope you do. If you don't, link your boy, you know. But it can be, you can be surrounded by responsibilities and still feel lonely, right? You can be needed by everybody and still feel unseen. You could be grateful for your life and still feel like something inside you is asking for more. And for a long time, I used to let that mess with my head, because I'd think like, man, what are you complaining about? Right? You've got a family, you've got work, you've got a home, people who need you, things to be thankful for, grateful for. And yeah, all that is true, 100%. I won't argue with that. But being thankful doesn't always mean you're not allowed to be honest. You can be thankful and still get tired. You can be blessed and still feel empty. You know, you can have a good life and still trying to figure out exactly how to live in it. And honestly, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm trying to figure out how to not just be useful, but figure out how to be full of purpose, full of peace, full of faith, full of energy for myself and my family and friends, and you know, just a way to just keep carrying it, keep going, you know, full enough that I'm not just giving everybody leftovers of myself. You know, I don't want to pour so much out that I just don't have enough to give to everybody. You know, that's a genuine, yeah, I don't want that. You know, I don't want to give the world my best, and then when it comes to the things that actually matter, I don't want to come home empty, right? I don't want the rest of the world getting the sharp version of me, and my family and friends getting the tired, flat, half there version. I don't want my kids remember me as the dad who was around but wasn't really present. You know, I don't want my wife getting whatever's left after everyone else has taken their piece from me. And I don't want God to get pushed to the side either. I don't want God to be the part where I only go to him when I'm in trouble or I'm overwhelmed or everything's chaos. Right? I want more alignment than that. I just want my life to feel like it's all moving in the same direction, forwards. You know, faith, family, the work, my health, discipline, walking, riding, being out in the quiet, the fire, the fuel, all of it. I think when those things get out of line, like for me, I can feel it. My body feels it. My mind feels it. My mood feels it. My patience feels it. My spirit definitely feels it. And then, you know, you start wondering, why do I feel off? But usually for me, I know. It's because I've been pouring out, but not filling back up. It's like Jesus going out into the wilderness for 40 days, or preaching all day and going to be alone, to be poured back into, to be filled back into, right? And for me, that's why things like these walks matter to me. The rides, that's why rides matter to me. That's why getting outside matters, right? Why putting time and effort and energy into cooking for my family matters. It's why faith matters. And that's why building something like this channel matters to me, right? I'm not trying to run away from my responsibilities. I'm not. I know we've all got things to carry, but I'm not trying to lose myself while I carry them. I'm trying to remember that I'm not just here to be useful. I'm here to live, to grow, to lead, to love, to be present, to become the man that God's still working on. And for me today, I think maybe that's the lesson. Being useful is great. If you're only useful, eventually part of you can start feeling like you're a tool, though, instead of a person. And for me, I don't want to live like that. Tools get used. Machines get used. Men need purpose. Men need peace. Men need God. Men need something that fills them back up. And so maybe the goal isn't to stop confusing usefulness with fulfillment. Maybe the goal is keep showing up for people, but continuously showing up for yourself. Sorry. Take the walk. Say the prayer. Go out for a ride. Cook the meals. Sit in the quiet. And just ask yourself what actually fills you. Because if you're empty all the time, eventually all the people around you are going to start feeling it too. So today, that's the thought from the walk. Being useful matters. Being dependable matters. Being the person people can count on matters. But don't forget you're a person too. You're not just here to fix things. You're not just here to work. You're not just here to stress and carry things. You're here to live a life that actually feels alive. That's what I'm trying to build. Not a life where nobody needs me, but a life where I can be needed without being emptied. A life where I can be useful, but still fulfilled. A life where I carry responsibilities, but not lose myself inside of it. And that's what I'm working on. One walk at a time, one ride at a time, one day at a time. It's good. Get out there.